Is it possible that Jack the Ripper was also the artist behind the ballerina posters that hang in little girls' rooms to this day? Unfortunately, I haven't been able to prove to myself that Edgar Degas, the French impressionist that was most famous for painting ballerinas, was not also responsible for 5 unsolved murders of ladies of the night in London in 1888. At the time, Degas was just over 50, his vision had diminished, but he was not yet fully blind, and he lived in Paris, which was only 300 plus miles away. Even in 1888, it was easily possible to travel from London to Paris and back very quickly via train. In fact, fellow artist Whistler of Whistler's mother lived in London, and just a few years later wrote a letter to Degas chiding him for not dropping by for lunch any longer. Edgar Degas was often the subject of gossip. In fact, many letters to this day survive and discuss in particular his misogyny. Even Vincent van Gogh wrote to his brother Theo about how much Edgar hated women. And Degas' subject matter, ballerinas? Well, you might not be familiar with this. Ballerinas were well known for selling their time after the show in arrangements often handled by their mothers backstage. In fact, some of Degas' pastels and paintings depict that particular transaction occurring as the dancer is on stage. You can see these dark shadows in the background of what otherwise look like very pretty little paintings. One of Degas' most famous works, though, is his statue, the only statue that he ever displayed during his lifetime, and that's called Little Dancer of 14 Years. I could make an entire video about how creepy that statue is, and I probably will, but for now, there is an excellent book by the prize-winning French journalist Camille about a girl who posed for the statue. Despite her thorough and nearly obsessive research, Miss Laurence was unable to find anything about this girl after a police record of her being stopped at the French border. Her older sister had stolen a large sum of money, and they were both attempting to flee the country. After the Parisian salon where the statue was displayed, that girl disappeared from history. And that's only the first in a series of coincidences that leaves me deeply unsettled about this artist. Let me know if you want to hear more.